Okay, so I think, yeah, the stream's up now. Sorry for anyone that was waiting for that. Just a few problems really. I just talked to my wall for a few minutes at that point. Bit of a shame. But yeah, as we see here, Rick is out on his first lap. Already purple first sector, as he's the only car out on track, and is currently going for the second. Once again, purple. And yeah, it's going to repeat what I said the first time. This is round 14, round COTA, as you can kind of see, or maybe not see because of how bright the sun is. It's going to be pretty close in each driver's standings. After the last round in Abu Dhabi, we had a bit of a controversial crash with the title leader at the time, Rick VE, and with someone who's now left the server, Chris. So it's all really now to play for even more, as Rick once again here sets fastest time of 33.7, which is looking pretty competitive to anyone else who is next across the line, which I believe, I'm not too sure. Henson goes as fast sector 2, so let's just watch it on board with him, as I don't believe that anyone else after maybe possibly Lifebout. No, Lifebout's not an invalid lap, so this is already good news for Rick, as Lifebout has not got that banker lap in, and he's only leading the championship here by 5 points, which is still a gap, but it's not really going to be enough, especially because we've got other people that are still going to be close challenging for the championship. J-Horse has retired. I am not too sure where that is. Might be in the pit lane. Might be a few issues with steering wheel or something. Might have seen that. Henson is pretty close to pole there, in fact. 133.780, sorry, compared to Rick's 133.733. So it's already looking quite close. Sim guy comes across the line with 33.9. So at the moment it's looking very, very close. And yeah, as we once again see in this championship, it's going to be quite close between Rick and Lifebout. Or once again, Lifebout has invalidated his lap. It does not look like he's going again, as he's got no ERS and what looks to be low fuel now. So yeah. There's only 17 points separating the top three, which consists of Lifebout in first, Rick in second, Henson in third. And yeah, they also have a shot at the title with only 2 rounds left. Henson's always been quite consistent. He's not picked up a win this season, unlike the other two, but you can clearly tell that he's still a very consistent driver and just constantly racks up those points, which is really what you want in a driver. Rick does actually get his first win in Canada, I think back in round 12, so it's not that he is really that bad, but also he is also just that consistent as well. He's had, I'm pretty sure, 7 or 8 second places, so once again, you can't really fault any of the drivers. A Lifebout missing Bahrain's sprint, you can tell that that is really, well, basically affected him with the amount of points he can have scored. So he's looking very good at the moment, Lifebout, and he's in pretty good form. We've seen around COTA in the other 2 leagues of DRS and PRL. It is that, and Jimmy Jags retired from the session. I'm not too sure how he's done that. He might have hit the pit wall, really broke himself, and yeah, probably a bit over for Jimmy there. Bit of a shame. We might be able to see it from Sim guys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's broke way too late. Tried to make the corner and just couldn't in time. Bit of a shame for Jimmy. At the moment he's up in P5, and while he is last of the overall times, there's going to be a load of invalidations coming in, as we've once again also seen from Lifebout. So yeah, just going to be me today also on commentary. Jimmy Jags did not break enough apparently, so bit of a shame for him, but yeah, Hazard also as well, yep, on a invalid lap. So once again, it's just only 5 people who've set a lap so far. 1 is out, and Jimmy Jags really. And yeah, once again, top 4 only separated by 8 tenths. Nothing too much at the moment, and yeah, it's just with all these invalidations, it's just a matter of who can get in a lap rather than who can get in the fast lap sometimes. Just for Lizzie here, he's going to be the only one on a lap at the moment. Tommy is also going to be on a lap shortly. But let's see Lizzie go through this first sector. It's really difficult on controller and even on wheel, to be honest, but it's just that immediate sensor. You can see he's really struggling to keep it on the track, but he's going to go and set the fastest first sector already. So, listen, we have seen recently he's picked up some very good form, and he is keeping in the track limits so far. He's got to see if he's got to get a really good exit on out of this corner onto the straight, because this is where a lot of the time could be lost. And yeah, the sun absolutely glaring into Lizzie's eyes there. as he just steams up ahead towards it. And now we've got to see second sector split as Tommy just starts his lap there. So Lizzie going to go down right as it's braking, so braking at 100 metres, going nice into the corner in 4th gear. What is his second sector time going to be? It's going to be another purple. Is this a Lizzie on for a chance? And it is not, as he's invalidated out on that curb. So it's not going to be a Lizzie's lap right now. So Rick kind of staying safe up there at the front of the field. And let's watch Tommy now, is also, never mind, on an invalid lap. So yeah, this is linking to what I said last time. If you don't get that valid lap in, you're going to have some of the slower drivers start up the front, as long as they can get a valid lap in. And as we see Rick come out now, I'm pretty sure Lifebow will be close to starting a lap. Lizzie has gone out for another one for some reason. I think he's just trying to maybe just set another lap, like I've said. Even if it's a slow lap, you could get ahead of a few drivers, which is probably quite crucial. And yeah, here we go, Lifebow coming around the final corner now. He is going to start his second lap. His first, he of course invalidated. And let's see, I'm pretty sure that validation was a 32.8 from what I saw on the top screen there. So at the moment, Lifebow is going to be, well, 9 tenths ahead. It's going to be pretty big here. So there's yellow flag set for 1, although I'm pretty sure that is just Hazard coming out the pits. And will he be a nice teammate? He's cutting the S's there. And Lifebow taking that really well, constantly in 7th gear, barely any lifting. He's got Hazard up ahead. Is he going to be giving him a tow, or is Hazard going to be letting him by here? We're going to see in these next couple corners. Lifebow needs to kind of make sure he doesn't get distracted by Hazard, and Hazard, yeah, looks to be, no, he pulls off. So Hazard has, yeah, not given his teammate a tow, which is a bit odd, in fact. I'd have thought he'd be able to give him a tow, and yeah, let's just see what Lifebow's time is. So it was a very good first sector from him, as you saw the purple, so now we've got to see what his overall time is. If we go in sector 2, it is going to be another purple sector. Will he do what Lizzie did? No, he did not. And let's see, in 4th gear, had a little bit of a slide there. He's going to go through all these banked corners, and he's going to do very nice on the exit. And we're going to see, is he going to go flat round here? Maybe a little bit cautious of a spin. He's going to go flat round here, and he's going to keep it planted through here. He's going to go 6th or 5th gear, 5th, quick short dip on 6. Oh god. And then through the final corner, we're going to go down into 3rd gear, maybe short shift up to 4 maybe. Yep, he does. Into the DRS and over the line. It's a 32.9, which, well, is quite convincingly on pole at the moment. Gap is 7.6 tenths there, so it's looking like a very good lap. But yeah, we can't count other people here, so I think R. Henson is starting his lap now. Rick is 3.5 tenths up on his lap so far. So once again, we can't count out him, as we see. Once again, that sun is going to be really bad for all the drivers out there. And I'm pretty sure that is Tommy that has had a little spin. Nope, I am wrong, I'm pretty sure. It was someone. Oh no, and our Henson validates his lap as well, so to be a little bit tough there. Sim Guy is just starting his lap, and Rick, he's 500ths down on his overall time, so he's probably not had the best of laps here. He's going to still try and improve to probably go away from the threats like our Henson behind, but at the moment, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a horror show for Rick at the moment if he just can't get the whole car planted on the floor, really. So otherwise, he's just going to be a load off Lifebow. Let's see here, coming across the final corner, is he going to chip up the 4th like he did with Lifebow? No, he does not. And off over to the line. He's gained a 10.5 with a purple final sector. However, that is, well, the gap speaks for itself. He's still 6.2 tenths off of Lifebow there. And yeah, once again, our Henson has invalidated his lap. Sim Guy has as well. Smithy has. Tommy is on a lap, I'm pretty sure. And Hazard, I think, is coming towards the end of his. So let's just see as we come across the line with Hazard. Goes into the final corner and goes up into P5. So it's a pretty nice lap for Hazard. Albeit 1.3 seconds off of Lifebow. However, I can make that exception for a lot of people. The next fastest guy is 6.2 tenths off, which is a ridiculous amount, let's just say. Essex Perry here as well on a lap. He's improving on his own time. And yeah, we shall see. With only 5 minutes left, can anyone match Lifebow? And it doesn't seem like it at all, really. Unless Essex Perry's got something absolutely massive in his pocket. See these other drivers. Rick, yep, on his in lap. We have got Sim Guy on the invalid. Hazard has already set his lap. Yep, so Essex Perry, and I'm pretty sure Tommy as well is also going to be setting a lap here, so let's see what Tommy does around these last few corners. No, he decides to come into the pits. And Lizzie is also on an out lap, so let's watch Essex Perry going into these first bits of sector 3. He's 4 tenths down, so he's not looking good, and there we go. There is the invalid lap. So Essex Perry still 8th. He is ahead of a few drivers like Tommy and Lizzie. However, Lizzie is going to start his lap now, so we're going to watch him because he looked like he had pretty good pace on his laps with some 2 purple sectors. So we'll watch him for now. Definitely pretty sure it's a clear track ahead of him. Essex Perry on that invalid lap. And we've also got RJ Blair and Rick, who are also coming into the pits. So, yeah, let's just watch Lizzie as we ride on board with him. Hazard, I'm pretty sure, yep, once again, is going to go into the pits, I assume. Yep. So, got Lizzie. Just him on the track, so he's got a completely clear field ahead of him. We've got to see, he's going to go purple sector 1. He does not this time, but 25.5 is pretty promising. As we go through these next couple of corners, he's not going to put the throttle too early or too late, which is really good from him. He's going to go down into this corner using all the track just to try and get a good exit out of this corner. He does brake pretty well. The sun is absolutely glaring at him and he gets a little wobble, but he's still looking pretty good. So, now we're going to see Lizzie down in here. He's going to cut it too fine and he invalidates again, so he's going to be very close and he knows that he's going to be cutting corners just to try and maybe get one more lap in on those tyres. And yeah, it's just going to be a bit of a horror show from Lizzie here. If he only qualifies 11th, so he has to get into those pits ASAP and come out again. And likewise every other driver, they've only got 3 minutes left, so everyone's got to try and get out on their final laps and, well, not too close to each other. Well then, so let's see Tommy, who will be the first one to come out and set his lap. There's another Red Bull that came out there, that was that Sim guy. And there's one more that I can't make out. I don't know who it was. It was Essex Perry. So Essex Perry will actually be ahead of Sim guy actually. So yeah, it'll be Tommy and Essex Perry to set the first few laps. Tommy is midway through sector 2 now, he's coming to the end of it. And let's see, who else is coming out then? So that is, I am not too sure, it's Lifebout. So he might not just think he's safe, or maybe he just wants to put a bit of authority into this qualifying session going even faster, but we'll have to wait and see here as, yep, we got a few more. Al Henson out on that lap, maybe trying to get one ahead of Rick, who is looking to be also coming out there. If I'm not mistaken, that could be RJ Blair, but from what I'm seeing, it is indeed Rick. And yeah, we got a few people staying in the pits. RJ Blair is 50, maybe trying to leave it a little bit late, or just not thinking they can go faster. As there's one more out, I'm pretty sure that was, I'm not too sure. That might have been a Lizzie trying to get back out again, and he does. He's got 1 minute 40, so he needs to quickly warm up these tyres and get to the line. So he's got to do basically 2 push laps and 1 without ERS. So he's going to be very quick here. And Tommy is the one starting his lap now first. And we see going through the first sector, he's got 26.0, so unfortunately he's not looking like pole pace, but it's completely fine. We don't discriminate of any drivers. And let's just see here. So going through the second sector, looking quite nice. Next person to cross the line will be Essex Perry for his lap, so good to wait on him as well after Tommy. See if Tommy straightens it up through this whole blinding sun once again. Not sure if it's going to be like that for the race, but yeah, I'm meant to be nice. I know Tommy is a good driver, and anyone can be good drivers, but yeah, I'm sorry, Tommy, but I don't think you're going to be pole pace here. Yeah, 1:04.3. I'm very sorry, Tommy, but you possibly could get ahead of Jimmy Jags here, which is going to be pretty good for you, and also Essex Perry. So once again, we don't discriminate against any drivers, so having to put that out there once more. As long as you're clean, you're completely fine, you're completely welcome in this league. And Tommy, going around these last few corners, hopefully he's not going to... Oh, and Tommy's out. I'm really sorry, Tommy. I'm sorry for jinxing you. I'm very sorry, but yeah, Essex Perry is out on an invalid lap. We then have Sim Guy also on a lap, Lifebound just behind him, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I'm correct. He's only 100 off on his lap, but he's still doing really well. Is yet RJ Blair and Smithy both didn't go out, and Tommy's session is over. So yeah, I think the real threat for pole here is, well, as usual, Lifebout, and Simguy invalidates his lap, so he's not going to go faster. So realistically, it's down to Hazard or R. Henson to have any sort of challenge really for the top 2 spots. And yeah, Lifebout goes ahead, so that's another fastest sector. So, well, it's going to be even faster for him now. As long as he does not mess up these last few corners, he's going to take it a little bit wide. He's not got a single snap at all. Go through this bend. He's going to do 50. He's going to go a little bit wide, and that is somehow not invalidated. And we're going to see now up to 4th go across the line. Is he going to go faster? He is going to go faster with a 32.8. Basically 3/4 of a second up, and that is just ridiculous. Our Henson across the line. He is not going to pit Rick to P2, so it's a bit of a shame for him. Hazard will be next across the line to try and challenge that P2 or even P3, P4 spot, and he does move ahead of Simguy, so Simguy invalidating his lap there. He's not going to do anything for him. Rick across the final corner, and it's only P2, so even with just that one lap for Lifebout, he still would have got it. But there's one more man to focus on, Lizzie. He was looking pretty pasty in these last few sessions. Let's see what he's going to do across the line, and it does not... I'm pretty sure that was P5 for Lizzie there, so yeah, P5 for Lizzie. So it's looking pretty good for that whole grid, but yeah, it's quite the obvious here. Lifebout is on pole and increases championship advantage by another 2 points, so it's a 7-point gap now at Rick, and well, he has to try and usurp him here, and maybe try and get a bit closer to him in the final round of Brazil, but here we go. Lifebout on pole, Rick P2, and you can just see that those two are just so much more patient in the field in qualifying. 8.5 tenths to the next person in P3 of our Henson. Hazard in P4, Lizzie in P5, and Simguy P6 after invalidating his final lap there. RJ Blair in P7, Smithy in P8, Essex Perry P9, Jimmy Jags, the last of the valid laps. Tommy, unfortunately, crashed. I'm very sorry, mate. And J Hawes retired early on. And, well, that is your grid. It's a bit short today, but oh well. Well, now we've got to see all the strategies. People are guessing that Lifeboat will be starting on hards, and I don't blame him. Getting the hards out of the way is a very good strategy, and putting on those medias for those last few laps with that lower fuel is really good. So, now we've got to see all the strategies in a few seconds. So I think this is a good time to read a few of the pre-race comments, and from what I put, it's congrats to Rick and Lifebout on winning today. It's one of those two, and as we saw from that qualifying, it's quite obvious. Even P2 of Rick, who was a few tenths off Lifebout, is, 6 tenths ahead of our Henson in P3. So unless those two come to absolute blows on the restarts, or anything really, like on the first lap, maybe on their conflicted strategies or anything. So just got to see, really. And yeah, Rick puts his bets on Lifebout, saying it'll probably be a Grand Slam. Lifebout is obviously very excited at that, as this once again could be his chance to increase the championship lead further. Our Henson, back in season 1, I'm pretty sure it was his COTA race there, and he came 14th, which is still his worst BRL finish ever. So yeah, we've got to see. Well, it can't be done again today, as there's only 12 racing. However, we've got Tommy as well. Several drivers not set a valid lap time in quali, and penalties of 15 plus seconds in the race, which is actually possible around here. The track limits are quite strict on you, especially going through that first sector, which is extremely fast and extremely punishing. And, well, Lizzie is pretty sure he would spin a lot this qualifying and race. So let's see all the tyres. So we've got Lifebout on hards, and from P2 down to P5 of Rick, R. Henson, Hazard, and Lizzie are on mediums. Simguy on hards, as with RJ Blair. Smithy is on mediums as well. And the bottom 4 of Essex Perry, Jimmy Jags, Tommy, and J Hawes are, well, going through a few strategies that could differ in those last few positions here, but, well, you can see the outlier in all this, Jimmy Jags on the softs. I'm not too sure if that is the right play there, because I'm pretty sure he's used all of his softs, and what I'm guessing is he might have just picked the wrong strategy. It's not really looking likely that he is wanting to start on those tyres, as yeah, there'd be one fresh set of softs and they would heat up very quickly in COTA, and the wear is absolutely massive. And one more thing I want to point out here is the gap Rick has on our Henson here. So these two basically racing to the line, and yeah, it's not looking too good for their overall tyres, as our Henson's just keeping it clean around the last few corners. And yeah, I'm guessing that those are fresh softs on Jimmy Jags' tyres because he's only done one lap. So yeah, it's still a strategy that might pay off, but it's very unlikely to, especially because once again those tyres heat up really quickly. If we might see here, they're both looking at just right ahead. They're not worried about each other. As well, Lifeboat I feel like assumes he's either going to get a better start or is just going to go a little bit down on him. Our Henson is looking to keep that outside line into turn one, which makes complete sense. Hazard as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone else is going to line up pretty well. Sim guy is pointing a little bit to the right, as of RJ Blair. And yeah, now let's see. Going to the 5 red lights, we've got some awful cameras here. We're going to spectate Lifeboat. And it's going to be away, and Lifeboat gets a really good first phase, but yeah, it drops down once again a tiny bit to Rick. We're going to see into the first corner here. Is Rick going to get ahead? He's going to break at equal level. Rick makes it stick round the outside, and here we go. We've got some actual good camera footage now, and Rick is up into P1 on those medium tyres. Lifeboat in P2, who is also being chased by our Henson. So yeah, these two are looking very, very close to each other. There's no overall crash at the moment, so they've all done pretty well to avoid the usual lap 1 chaos. And yeah, Rick had a very good start there and just pulled away ahead of Lifeboat on those hard tyres, but once again, Lifebout knows he's not going to play right now. We've had a few good starts on the field, especially from Jimmy Jags, who I'm pretty sure is now up to P7, or he's being pressurised by that Sim guy, and they're very close to contact there. Jimmy Jags has to go a tiny bit wide out of the corner, and there's a big... now also gets past Jimmy Jags, so he might be lacking a bit of straight line speed here, as Hazard is looking quite close on the back of our Henson, and Lizzie and Spiffy going side by side. Spiffy just sneaks ahead, and Lizzie does not have the traction to fight him. So then, let's see any position changes. So we've got Smithy up 3 positions with a very nice side seams on those medium tyres, and we've got a yellow flag 6-2 and 3, and that is RJ Blair. They're having a bit of a coming together with Tommy or Essex Perry, what looks to be Tommy. So yeah, with no wing, I'm pretty sure there's been a bit of an incident there, bit of a shame for both drivers, but now we've got to look a bit more towards the top of the field, and yeah, Rick is already nearly out of DRS range, so he's using these medium tyres to some very good effect, and weaving a tiny bit on the straight just to break a little bit of toe. And yeah, if we go back to position changes, the Lizzie and Sim guy didn't have the most amazing of starts. J-Hill's up 4, which is very good from the back of the grid, and Jimmy Jags on those soft tyres has made up a position, but it's not looking too good for him for the moment. And yeah, Tommy is in with that wing change. He is looking just to put on a set of medium tyres, probably 2 sets of mediums to the end. Let's watch a Lizzie here, who's looking very close in the back of Smithy now, as Smithy might start to be hold up a little bit, like starting to hold up everyone else, as Lizzie does have a bit of a shake there. And yeah, 1.5 seconds to the next car ahead, which is Hazard. It's looking like Smithy is just a bit of a moving obstacle here, and I think that's RJ Blair's round in the first sector, and that is... I don't think that's going to cause any other incidents. And now we see Lizzie on the back of Smithy here, so we're going to see how that pays off for him. And he does look like he's got to get a bit of the straight line speed, and then we'll cut back to Jimmy Jags on J-Hall. So we have to see now what is going to happen with soft tyres. Is Jimmy Jags able to make them work, maybe get past a few of the quicker drivers? And he's looking very, very close to a spin there, but he's very glad for himself that he's able to keep it together, especially on those soft tyres, which once again will degrade quickly, so he's got to start making them work now. And Lifeboat, I'd like to say, is warmed up those hards and is closing in on Rick. Our Henson is staying back there, as with Hazard, and Smithy looks to be the one who is holding everyone else up. You've got a Lizzie trying his hardest to get ahead of him, and he just can't do it, and Stim guy as well on those hard tyres, I think benefiting quite well from this, as a Lizzie, as long as he can just sit behind, is getting some very nice slipstream from him and just keeping in those medium strategy windows. This will be very good for him. And yeah, Jimmy Jags has dropped off a little bit already, so this could already be the end of the soft tyre, as it's starting to heat up very, very quickly going through sector 1. As we can see, the lefts and rights are just too much of a soft tyres to handle over multiple laps, especially with that high fuel. I'd like to interrupt everyone here because Lizzie was very close to going side by side with Smithy there, and yeah, he's lost another second. So it's going to be quite tight between these two. I'm pretty sure at the moment these will be the ones that we'll have to look at. And yeah, Sim Guy as well is very close now. So I think the Sim Guy needs to start making this move if he can get nice traction. And yeah, I think Smithy is now just causing a bit of a DRS train for the people behind him. Is going to be any sort of moves starting to be made, maybe. We've got to see Sim Guy looking a bit more straight on speed, but at least he goes very wide there, trying to get the best racing line possible into this third sector. And yeah, still no moves being made yet, which is a bit of a shame. However, once again, this is a very strategical game now, as yeah, we've got everyone else on those mediums and hards. We're going to have a look at the tyres. Once again, the Smithy goes a little bit wide there, but he's still not being overtaken yet. And yeah, we've got Sim Guy and J-Horse just really on the back of these guys, just trying their hardest to keep in the 1 second window, that constant DRS. If you had a flag in Sector 3, I'm not too sure who that is. That is Essex Perry, round of that corner. And Rick has set another fastest lap, however, Lifebout is still there, so yeah, he's also dropped out of the DRS to our Henson. Another yellow flag, I'm not sure what that means, just, yeah, RJ Blair, I'm not sure what problems he's got, but yeah, Lizzie here, hold on, is past Smithy, so now Sim Guy really is good at a hurry up, who is also right behind him, but he backs out, and Smithy's not taking it very well, and Jimmy Jacks picks up a 3-second penalty, and yeah, once again, the other flag to 3, that is RJ Blair, so he is going to have a bit of a problem on those tyres, I'm pretty sure. He might have a puncture of some sorts, we're not too sure. And yeah, this is not looking too great now for Smithy, is, well, he's just holding up everyone else on those faster tyres, and it's just not going to work with the Sim Guy and J-Horse. And Lizzie now has to claw back 3.2 seconds. RJ Blair retires in the pit lane, and Lifebout now is getting pretty close to Rick, and Rick tries to break the toe a little bit by just going to the inside of that corner and defends it pretty well. Smithy is now on the inside of a Lizzie. They're going to be very close to contact, and there's a tiny bit of tyre banging there, and RJ Blair is up to session. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure now this is a Lizzie using all his ERS, just trying to get past him, and Smithy has done the same. Sim Guy has not, and now he is the one who's going to be the fastest out of these three, despite being on the harder tyres. But yeah, he gets still a little bit of wiggle, so you can tell that these hard tyres are just not going to be as grippy as the other ones. So you can now just tell, and J-Horse is round. So that has really not helped him, and Lifebout also has got a 3-second penalty on those hard tyres. So this is going to be a bit of a painful stint for those hard runners. You can tell that they're still not going to be that quick. Well, however, as I say that, Sim Guy does get past Smithy, who did seem to be a little bit of a mobile chicane there, to be honest. He was not looking too quick at the start of this race, and it's continuing not to just really fire up those medium tyres at the moment, but yeah, it's looking a bit of a struggle for the hard tyres. We saw Essex Perry round, we've seen J-Horse round, we've seen Sim Guy, well, just being held up really, and Lifebout getting that 3-second penalty, as with Smithy. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a rocky ride for them, as we now see just Lifebout keeping with that gap. So even with that 3-second penalty, his goal is to, well, not spin it like what he nearly did there, and also just keep within that DRS. If he keeps getting all that DRS from Rick, he'll eventually start pulling him towards and probably even passing him. It's going to be very close to the end of the race, as long as Rick keeps that pace going on the hard tyres, like what Lifebout is showing here. It's going to be very good, and well, Sim Guy there was very close to the back of a Lizzie, definitely using that DRS to a very good advantage, and well, the mediums will not be falling off this early. However, Sim Guy is just, well, he's looking a lot better than a Lizzie in terms of ERS, as a Lizzie looks to be, yeah, only 13%, and Sim Guy, well, about 4 times more than him there. So, got to see now with a load of people who and what their ERS is. I'm pretty sure there was a pass there from someone, but I'm not too sure who it was, so my apologies. And yeah, we see Rick here, 45%, Lifebout around the same. Our Henson a tiny bit higher than them, which could help you. And Hazard, yeah, out of all these top 4, Hazard has got the most here, but he's the furthest back with 76%, but he is around 4.5 seconds off the lead, so it's a little tough for him. And Lizzie is still ahead of Sim Guy, with Sim Guy, well, having a lot more ERS than him, of course, and Smithy and J-Horse, well, looking like the average. Jimmy Jags on those soft tyres, trying to push quite a bit, but he just could not get that tyre grip, and he's just struggling a lot in this first sector. Might be down a bit to using a controller, but also just down to how tricky it is now on those soft tyres. They wear out very quickly, and yet J-Horse now gets the penalty, so once again, these hard tyres are just not working well. Essex Perry 6 seconds down on the next car ahead of him, but, well, he's got the C now, and Sim Guy's closing in on Lizzie. He's going to go on the outside here as Lizzie tries to defend the inside. Is there going to be any sort of moves from Lizzie? No, but he is breaking a little later than Sim Guy on those medium tyres. He's not going to have any extra grip, and, well, this is changing very slightly. You can see now that the mediums are probably in their prime zone here. Like the hards are. Oh, and Lifebout has had a massive spin there. So, well, once again changes the race now. Well, I said gradually, but now it's completely. Lifebout down to 5th, and side by side with Lizzie, which put into the bits of contact where Lizzie just managed to sneak around the outside with a very lovely move. However, Lifebout being a bit compromised now, was probably want to go right back on the aggressive, even on those hard tyres. So Lizzie might have to do a bit of defensive work after overtaking him, and Lifebout might go for a little send here as he goes down the inside. Lizzie leaves him quite a bit of space, and Lizzie will get the better exit. There's a bit more contact between them, so Lifebout has really not found himself in a good position here. Jimmy Jags is also in for medium tyres, but yeah, Lifebout has, well, maybe just pushing a bit too hard, maybe using a bit of ERS through that corner has just not worked for him. He's just thought that he could maybe push it a bit too much or over the limit, and that is what happens. Sometimes you go a bit too much over, and that's what happens, you just spin. But yeah, this will definitely be the next move that will happen on track, unless, well, any other people spin here. But that has also put our Henson into a chance of getting even closer to the championship fight, as he's still going to be gaining points, I'm pretty sure, on the drivers ahead of him. And Lifebout does get past the Lizzie here. Is Lizzie going to fight this one too much, as he knows that he's going to be a bit of a faster driver here? But no, Lizzie goes for a bit of a switchback. He's going to go back on the inside. There's going to be a bit of contact there if you don't brake enough. And, well, Lizzie was pretty close to contact there. Is he going to go for any more moves? No, he does not. But you can tell how much the mediums still close in. So those hard tyres are going to be, well, quite a hard tyre to deal with there. No pun intended, but yeah, you can just tell the mediums are just the best tyre for now, but this doesn't seem like anyone can really cope with them, and the only one who has really has been Sim Guy so far. Lifeboat with that 3-second penalty and the spin, J-Horse with the spin and 3-second penalty as well, and yeah, Essex Perry just, unfortunately, 10 seconds off J-Horse, the next quickest hard runner for him, and yeah, Sim Guy's the only one, despite being held up, he's the only one who's really came up victorious in the hard tyre battle at the moment. But there's only 8 laps into this race, so we can tell there still could possibly be a massive game changer in here. And if there's not, it's a bit of a shame, but we can, well, definitely tell that there are some cracks definitely beginning to set here in just overall mistakes. We've seen Life out there have a little spin, and Rick, he has a very good chance of increasing the points gap to Lifebound. There's another yellow flag in sector 3, that is Tommy. So, once again, I don't think there's going to be any incidents involving these later cars that should affect the race, unless Tommy, unless he goes for a bit too much. But yeah, here we go. J-Horse down the inside of Smithy, who has really not had much pace at the moment, and he's still continuing to show that, and he's trying to fight J-Horse back up the inside, so to be fair, he's still doing pretty well on these moves. J-Horse could go and send another one back down the inside. He is, and leaves Smithy, well, basically pushing him through that corner, but J-Horse does get ahead with a very nice move. That was just maybe caught Smithy a tiny bit unawares, but he is still right on the back of him. So it's not like he's going to take no for an answer here, and he does go a little bit wide there, so it's definitely going to affect him through these next few corners. As we see now, going into DRS, J-Horse has pulled away enough to very, well, secure his place now for P7, even with that 3-second penalty. Lifebout is back on the charge as well. We can see him getting very close to Sim Guy here as Hazard gets a penalty. So, yeah, once again, Rick has been not using his ERS at all and definitely saving a tiny bit, but pulling away from our Henson as well, which is pretty extraordinary stuff. It's quite difficult to do that. But Rick is managing it pretty well and is now on the same ERS as Hazard, despite being 30% down on him at the same time. And J Horse picks up another penalty, so yeah, he is really pushing on those hard tyres, which are starting to probably creep in to those better tyre windows. And yeah, we see Lifebound getting past that Sim Guy, so two hard runners here, definitely fighting for position. Will Sim Guy fight it at all when trying to get back ahead of him? He breaks a little late, but not as late as Lifebound, and Lifebound is ahead. So then, now we got to see with these medium runners, we can still see that they're working pretty well, but they'll have to start soon thinking about that pit stop for the hard tyres as well. It's only a few laps out now before the pit window opens, and a Lizzie right here, yeah, it's just it's looking a bit uneasy through there, and yeah, you can see now the mediums are starting to lose a tiny bit of grip, and yeah, here we go, and Lizzie is nearly completely put it into the wall, and that was a very nice save, and I've jinxed him again. But you had a very good save, and well, now it's gone a bit crashing down for you. So no safety car from what I am seeing, and no, there is not. So Lizzie is back down to PA, unfortunately for him. But yeah, this got too trigger happy, and also along with that, the hard tyres are just, well, yeah, too much for him. And Lifebound gets another penalty, so this is only hurting me even more as well. This could probably put our Henson and Hazard as the threats for Rick now, instead of Lifebound, because those 6 seconds are going to really add up by the end of this race, because that is what could happen with a differing strategy. You could pull that 6 seconds ahead, and it's just going to be all gone after those 6-second penalties. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen there. And if we want to have a very quick check at the amount of warnings that Rick has got, we're just going to go quickly to the race director, hopefully not miss any incidents. And yeah, as we see here, Rick just doesn't look like he's got anything. So we have one more look. No, he's not got a single warning yet, and we've seen from other drivers, our Henson's not got a warning. Hazard has got one warning added onto his penalty. Lifebound has had, well, quite a few warnings, as you can see there, so it's going to be quite difficult for him. Sim Guy's only got one. J-Horse has got, well, quite a few after pushing for a load of those laps. Smithy has got another 2 warnings added on, so he'll be very close to no penalty. Lizzie has 2. Essex Perry also has 2. Jimmy Jags has had quite a few, notably probably through those first sectors. Tommy has had quite a few as well, and RJ Blair is out of the session. So then, we've had nothing else here, as Jimmy Jags then picks up another penalty. So yeah, everyone's raking up penalties at the moment as the tyres just get even more and more old. We just see that it's not going to work as well. This could be an opportunity for maybe a few spins at this point. So we're going to see now, like through this first sector, he's still once again pushing it to the max. And this is how we're going to see some of those penalties come in. And well, he's got to wait now as he's starting to close in a little bit of Hazard. It's now Hazard's decision to see if he can fight it or not, because he is on the softer tyres and he's going to have to start thinking about pitting soon. So will he fight it or not is my question, or does he think he'd be able to fight Lifebound for P3? We're going to see now, going onto this straight, will there be any chance of Lifebound catching up on this straight maybe? It does not look like it for the moment. He's only gaining in very slight tenths here, and our Henson, without that DRS, is going to be the one at threat. And well, Sim Guy is still there, don't forget about him. The Lifebound is getting pretty close to Hazard. Jimmy Jags picks up another penalty, and Hazard looks like that was a let through from him. So yeah, Hazard has let through his teammate Lifebound. Probably just trying to get a bit more of that DRS out of our Henson and hoping just to not hold him up, which is very fair play from him. Young Fang sector 2, and that is Jimmy Jags off. And Rick comes in at the same time, and that is a full course safety car, which has ruined the hard tyre strategies. So this now means, what? All the hard runners only have to do one more lap, and that is perfect. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see everyone coming in now, surely. J-Horse driving a penalty for speeding under the safety car, so it's a bit unfair for him. However, that is only himself to blame, as J-Horse looks like he's probably going to come into the pits here. He won't be able to do anything else with that. And yeah, we're going to now see who is going to be ahead of who. I'm pretty sure that Sim Guy was already ahead of Hazard, unless Hazard has just got a bad stop there, and I'm pretty sure he has actually. Hazard was P3, if I remember correctly, and now he's just yeah, he's been screwed over from the double stack by his teammate Lifebow, who's now moved himself up into P3. So that is some, well, it's a bit of a sacrifice made from Hazard there, and it's quite unfortunate really as he moves down to P5, as he was one of the drivers who probably could have tried to a podium there. But now this is going to be, well, it's going to be just well, tyre management for all the hard runners who've now switched to mediums, and well, they're basically all the hard runners now that were previously mediums have been, well, just treated here with a perfect strategy. And yeah, Lizzie there's got time penalties, so I'm not too sure about that one. We could have another person possibly joining us as well. I'll be inviting them to the party. One who has just DNF'd of Jimmy Jags. Let's see if I can invite him, if he joins. Let me just have a quick look. Let's hope I don't miss anything too drastic under the safety car here. Jimmy Jags is there. Let's see if I can invite him. Oh, here we go. He has been invited. So then, well, that has been a very good strategy from every medium runner unintentionally here. So Rick, R. Henson, and Hazard are all, well, those top three are going to be very good for the end of the race, and Lifebound and Sim guys just have to make sure they can just get everything just pushing to the max, really. And let's just see here. I do not think Jimmy Jags is going to be joining us for the moment. He might be preparing himself. And if not, well, you'll still have me. It's not going to end the stream or anything. And yeah, this is now going to be a very, very strategic game. Will these medium runners push enough to really degrade their tyres by the end of the race? And, well, will the hard tyres even last the end of the race at this point? So, hello Jimmy Jags.
Hello, hello.
I just want to make sure, if anyone is on the stream, could you just make sure you're able to hear Jimmy? If not, I'll just feel really awkward just talking to myself.
You can hear me, I've checked.
Okay, so, any thoughts on that race, Jimmy? Did you just not feel too confident?
I touched the inside curve and it just snapped.
Well, on the corner that Ricky's coming up to now? Or
yes.
One? Okay, so, bit of a shame, realistically, for you. But now you're up in the comms box, so, yeah, all the pressure's off, and yeah, now realistically, it's just analysing this whole race, just along with me.
Yeah, you'll be way better than me at comms, but I will.
That's okay. And yeah, I saw you on the soft, so was that just a mistake? You just picked the wrong strategy?
I did pick the wrong strategy. I went to choose the top one and accidentally clicked it last second to change.
Okay, well, a bit unfortunate for you, but I think what's more unfortunate here is every single hard runner who is now boxed for their medium tyres, because they're just going to be, well, they were basically screwed by the end of the race, and the hard tyres are just going to be so much faster. If anyone wants to chip in, Jimmy, you can do. Yeah, as we see now, just Tommy rounding out the last sector here, so safety car could likely be in this lap, and there we go. And Tommy's now well, all caught up to the end of the field, and Rick is now going to be the one to decide when to go, and maybe to avoid any little spins he might have, especially with any other people behind him. Well, yeah, it is a bit weird to talk as well, Jimmy, I get you, but, you know, I know you're not used to being here, but at the moment, it's just, if you want to chip in when you can do. You can fine by me.
Will do.
So yeah, we got to see now Rick, what is his exit going to be, and I think he's already gone. Yep, so our Henson has been left with a pretty decent gap, but we will see out the final corner, he is going to be absolutely bolting away, as Rick has had a very good restart there. Is anyone else going to have any sort of challenge? Simgar might challenge Hazard, and J-Horse, he's side by side with Smithy going into turn one. J-Horse on the fresher medium tyres compared to Smithy's harder tyres here, and J-Horse just goes right ahead. So this might be a bit of a preview to what we're going to see up front with Lifebout, Arhenson and Rick, and possibly even Sim Guy right behind him. As we Lifebout, yeah, here we go, already on the back of Arhenson, and Rick has just had an amazing restart, pulling 1.1 seconds already out of the next driver. So we've got to see Lifebout here, whether he can just get past immediately or not. And we're going to see it now, going through this straight. Does Arhenson have the low enough wings to challenge him on that straight? He uses ERS, as with Arhenson. We're now going to see, going down this straight, what is going to happen. Arhenson keeping with Lifebout here, Sim Guy waiting in the background, and Lifebout does get ahead without any other little moves from Arhenson here. So, Lifebout at a 6-second penalty has to have something done here, and J-Horse was very close to overtaking Hazard there as well. So once again, you can tell those medium tyres are the tyres to be on for now, but those hard tyres by the end are going to be ones to be on, and Esther Perry does get another penalty there, as I'm pretty sure he's just extending back a little bit too much. So everything seems to calm down a little bit for now. We see Sim Guy right on the back of Arhenson, but no moves are being made as of yet. And yeah, once again, Lifebout is just trying his best to catch up, and you can see there half a second quicker already on that lap. Just those tyre deltas are just going to be, well, they're going to be a lot quicker than what people can think. As J-Horse tries to figure out another move, he's still on the inside and just could not get it there. He's very, very close. But unfortunately for him, he's just not going to be able to fully sneak ahead. And Lifebout, I'm pretty sure he is pushing just like absolutely mad here. Purple first sector once again. He knows what he wants, and he's trying his best to keep that gap from, well, maybe not Rick, but even Arhenson behind him, as he's on the hard tyres, and he's probably going to be the one to worry about here by the end of this race. And Sim Guy is also very close to Arhenson here, so I don't think there's going to be any DRS as of yet. There will not be, so let's just see. As Sim Guy is closing up to Arhenson. Arhenson is not using any battery here, so I feel like he will know he can't really fight this one. J-Horse is side by side with Hazard here. Sim Guy does get ahead of Arhenson, J-Horse does get ahead of Hazard, so once again, it's just the medium versus hards here, and you can tell the mediums are clear. Tommy there, and Lifebound now is now going to be the one who is all over the back of Rick. And this is realistically the battle that we've all been waiting to see, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yep.
It's a very, very interesting comms there. So, well, one person who is actually sticking quite close is Hazard to J-Horse at the moment. Quite a lot of ERS has been used by the both of them, while J-Horse has been disqualified for the drive-through, so wow, that is pretty interesting. People have got to avoid him going through this straight here. Yeah, so I feel like he might have tried serving it through the pits and it just did not go through, but that is J-Horse having his race, well, completely ruined. And it's a bit of a shame for him, but I just can't help but feel that might have just been a little oversight from him. Or maybe he did try and serve it and it just did not go through. That could be just what Codemasters do at the moment. And Lifebout is getting quite close to Rick here. This might be the overtake with the DRS. Rick is using the battery, probably forcing himself to just keep him at bay, but Lifebout is going to be too fast down this straight. Using the ERS and the DRS, it looks like it's going to absolutely power through. Rick is not going to go for another move, or is he? Down the inside, he's going to try and keep the battle going, despite Lifebout's 6 seconds, but Lifebout, you can tell, with all that grip, is just able to get ahead. And Lizzie is also getting ahead of Smithy, who is bouncing over those curbs there and gets a 3-second penalty for it, so that is likely going to be removed after Lizzie has had a little bit of a forceful tap with him. However, once again, all settles down now, as, well, order is basically restored here, as Sim Guy is probably going to be the next person to have any sort of overtake, really, unless Smithy has a bit more of a few mistakes. And we're going to next see Sim Guy right on the back of Rick, and while he is getting DRS, it's not going to be for long. Now I'll be just quickly asking J-Horse about his drive-through. So, well then, We'll now see Rick, who is, well, looked like he had a bit of a snap there on that corner, and Sim Guy's dropping back a little bit, so this could be just to save his ERS, as we can clearly see, but he is using a bit of it now. And yeah, going down into this corner, yeah, and J-Horse completely forgot he had a drive-through, so it's just a bit of an oversight from him. Unfortunately for him, his race was run early, and yeah, Rick now is out of that DRS, so this is now going to be the crucial thing here. If Sim Guy can pull off this move against Rick, and how soon can he do it? Because the more this happens, the more Sim Guy's just going to struggle, and Rick gets a bit of a tank slapper there, and Rick so far is just not going too well there on those hard tyres, and you can see all this little bits of moving around on those same as Sim Guy right there. You can tell that there's still going to be 11 laps to these to go on the tyres, and it's just going to be a bit of a crazy one to try and last at the end. We look at all the other gaps here, and Essex Perry was getting quite close to Smithy, as of Tommy to both of them. So, have a little look at this, and Lifehouse has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And we're just going to have a little look at this before we quickly cut back to these other guys. Sim Guy is probably not going to think about move here, and he does not. So we're going to have to wait for him. Well, I know it's quite difficult to tell when you want to talk, Jimmy, but yeah, there's a lot happening, and I'm just already used to just being by myself, so I'm sorry if you don't really have much of a chance to talk. Yeah. Let's have a look at a few other drivers. I carry on? Okay, that's alright then, Jimmy. If you just want to be in here for the interview, that's completely fine. You can put that in the chat as well. So, as you see here, well, the closest man on the track here was going to be Tommy and Essex Perry, but now, the only got to focus on here is Sim Guy and Rick. Will Sim Guy have a chance of overtaking Rick? Rick is not using any ERS, and Sim Guy is not either. This is just pure DRS pace. Sim Guy doesn't know where to go. He goes on the outside he chooses. Rick breaks a little bit later than him, and Sim Guy might get that bit of traction, but Rick is a bit of a wobble, and is only just able to defend there, and he's getting even more wobbles out of these corners. Sim Guy is going to go round the outside. He's going to try and break a little bit earlier and try and switch back in. No. Will he get any grip here? No either. So this is going to be, well, pretty close, and there's going to be no other bits here, and we see now, yeah, Essex Perry there got ahead of Smithy, because Smithy just looks like he's got absolutely no pace here. And we're going from pretty decently, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, that is Sim Guy spinning. So, yeah, we're stalled once again up the front, and I think Sim Guy's coming in actually, so I don't think he's got any damage or anything, so it might be for a retirement or anything, I'm not too sure. And Sim Guy comes to the pits, maybe for another change of medium tyres. Most likely, and I'm pretty sure it is another set of mediums that he's putting on. Yes, it is. And Smithy and Tommy here, I'm very sorry, they're going for some good fights here. Tommy does get ahead of Smithy, and he's got a little bit of a lift through that corner. I'm pretty sure Smithy's maybe got a slight bit of damage there, I'm actually pretty sure. Tommy picks up another penalty, or maybe my eyes were just deceiving me there with the damage, but, well, Smithy is just really not looking that quick on these hard tyres. It's just not looked quick for the whole race, really, so it's probably quite a struggle, Smithy this is. He's only barely staying with the DRS Essex Perry at the moment, even on those harder tyres, but yeah, he's just not having as much of a fun time as you might be thinking here. And Lizzie is getting quite close to Hazard, who are basically running thin on their ERS. Will he think about a move? He fakes it, but he does not make any other moves there. And Lizzie is just, well, having a bit of a fight with his fellow white car there, and on the same tyres, considerably, as well. And, well, they've got the same penalties, I'm pretty sure. As we have a look, yep, both on 3 seconds, but there's one more thing I have to allude to. Life out up ahead, still has those 6 seconds of penalties, but he's keeping that gap pretty well so far, 3.8, and he's definitely extending it a little bit more. So, this is now just a battle between, well, Lifebound and his tyre wear. Is he able just to keep those tyres hanging on for enough of a time before Rick catches up again? Ooh. You can talk if you want to say anything now, Jimmy.
No,
say anything at all?
I've got nothing to say.
You got nothing? That's completely fine, mate. Also, if you just want to stay here for interviews,
the top lot, there's a lot of gaps between them, so...
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is because Hazard is, well, defending a little bit from Elizzy here, who's, well, getting a much better sector 1 there, and hence is kind of just out in his own world, really. He's got no one ahead of him, no one behind him, really, and as of Rick, he's just trying to keep that gap, and Lifebout, well, look at that, using all his ERS, he's only down to 3% now, so this is going to be a pretty close fight between the top two, as long as Lifebout can keep those tyres held together. And Elizzy here as well is now on the back of Hazard. Once again, both of them got no ERS really to play with. Elizzy is going to go, possibly for a move here. He's going to switch to the inside. Equal braking between the two. Elizzy makes a slight bit later, actually, and Hazard does see the position to him. However, he's still going to try and keep it around the outside, maybe go for a possible switchback move here. And he's back on the inside, is Hazard. Are either of them going to try and go for a switchback of themselves? Hazard goes a little bit outside, does a bit of a dummy on Elizzy there. Is he going to try and go round the outside? No, he is not. But he's going to go for maybe even another switchback. No. And Elizzy is getting pretty held up through these corners, just probably about a little pace. And yeah, Hazard decides to back out of it, but it was a very good fight. Put up with him there, and Elizzy, as they both defend and attack respectively. Well, now you'll see now through these corners, it's going to be Hazard now attacking and Elizzy now defending. So it's been quite interesting here. As well, Hazard actually attacked for a lot more, in fact, down that last lap of Sector 3, but he's going to be attacking now through this straight, and some guy does hit the fastest lap, taking it off a Lifebout and giving that extra point to, well, someone else. So Lifebout, this will obviously stop him from getting bronze to them, of course, as well. Rick, of course, then to turn 1, and once again, about the fastest lap, he can't do that. So, yeah, Lifebout is not going to get full 31 points today. If he does get that lead every lap, and he once again does not. However, we're seeing here just the difference in pace between Elizzy and Hazard, and it looks to me that Hazard was just holding Elizzy up. He's basically out of DRS now, he's only just been able to get it. Hazard using all of his DRS, he's down to 0% as he tries desperately just to catch up with Elizzy, but he cannot do it, and this is now the whole grid just settling down, really. All we've got to pay attention to now is Lifebout and Rick's gap up ahead, and maybe, or possibly anyone in the top 4 to 8 with any penalties at all. Well, now this is where it gets a bit boring for us commentators, because, well, we just don't have anything to talk about. The only one that is quite close to that is Hazard and Elizzy and Sweeping and Curry, and only one is in DRS. At the moment, nothing's really happening. If anyone could cause a next safety car for us, that'd be great, thank you. But if not, oh well. It was still a pretty decent race, I guess, and has, well, what looked to be at the moment, helped Lifebout, of all people, who is still keeping ahead of Rick, but only just outside that 6-second window of penalties, which he will need to start clawing back that little bit more time if he wants to keep that win. And, well, if Rick wants it, he's got to push a little bit more or hope the tyres come to at the end. And it looks like he's just trying to keep to the tyres at the end, because look at the ERS difference between him and Lifebout. Lifebout's just been pushing like mad right now, and Rick, 35% ERS, so he is realistically going to be the one who is going to be a lot faster with those harder tyres at the end, as once again those mediums going to wear out even quicker, and it's just going to be who can just pull out the fastest laps in the last few laps, really, at this point. Our Henson once again just in his own world, as with, well, now Elizzy, kind of, but Swiftly at the moment is just not putting as many fast laps as he would like, so Ashton Perry is still staying ahead. Tommy is in P8, and Sim Guy is just trying his best to salvage any more points that he could possibly get in P9. And here we go. Now, at the moment, this looks to be the shape of the race, Lifebout and Rick. And Lifebout has pulled out that 6-second gap now, and you can tell he's pushing like absolute mad. And let's see, has he got any warnings? Oh, that's all. That is the wrong thing. And yeah,
Rick is on 1 warning.
So, from what I'm seeing here, I'm not too sure if any of those incidents were for collisions. Exceed track limits for Lifebout, exceed track limits again. What we all need to be looking at here, so let's see. Are we looking at lap 10, lap 16, and lap 18? Let's see if any of those were bad. Exceed track limits and multiple warnings, so that will be just a bit of a problem for him. Exceed track limits again, and exceed track limits again. So Lifeboat is, well, he's only one warning away from another penalty, which could completely ruin it, and Rick is starting to call time down now a little bit. You can see he's used a bit more of his ERS now, only down to 20%, although he's still getting those little snaps of oversteer that he has just been constantly having throughout the whole of this race. And with only, well, 5 laps left now, it's now just a massive fight between these two. Oh, Smithy, yeah, sorry, just picked up on that. Essex Perry now has just dropped back a lot for some reason there. Thank you for picking it up, Jimmy. But yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. Just Smithy has just got past Essex Perry, really. I just didn't see anything else that happened there. Very sorry, I apologise. But yeah, it's just these few now. As these last few laps count down, and then Rick.
Lifeboat is back. Won't notice.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's very close.
Yeah, it is very close. Unless Perry picks up another penalty there, and unless anyone else causes a safety car, Lifeboat is definitely going to be getting, well, P2 here. Unless he pulls out those few more tenths, or if Rick has a massive mistake, which we have seen before in a few of these races when he's chasing that win, but at the moment it's not looking like he's able to get anything done in terms of, well, any mistakes really, but he's keeping this gap around 5.8, which is exactly what he wants, as he'd be able to then win by a few tenths. The yellow flag is sector 2, and that is Tommy Round, so he has not got any damage. So fortunately for Lifeboat, there is no safety car or even a virtual safety car for that. Yeah, we can just see now it's all looking quiet on the track. We've got almost no moves happening besides Essex Perry and Smithy again. These two have been fighting quite a bit actually this race, but yeah, once again the yellow flag is 2 again, so that is...
That's Tommy again.
This is Tommy again, so yeah, I think Tommy might have overcooked his tyres a little bit now, so he's going to be sliding about quite a bit, which is really not what you want coming up to sector 3, but it's just, once again, just a little bit quiet out on track here. Our heads are getting, well, close to 10 seconds away from Rick, and 4 seconds away from Lizzie, so it's just a bit of a shame really that we've only had a two-way fight really, and Leiper has 6 seconds of penalties worth for it. And yeah, speaking of, he's back in that 6 second, he's back out of that 6 second window actually, so he's back in, so once again, it's just going to be a seesaw really, and yellow flag is free, that is.
That is Tommy again.
Yeah.
Spinning.
Very sorry, Tommy, but yeah.
Lifeboat is now 6.3 ahead.
Okay, so Rick had a little bit of a snap there, in fact. We watched Tommy had a little spin round. So all these little mistakes that are creeping in for Rick are starting to give Lifeboat that just like a tiny bit more of an edge in who he can win this race. And now looking at every other driver, we're going to have to probably look at the medium tyres. 13 laps on them is quite a long distance, and we've seen with Tommy here, we had quite a few spins, and
Hazard is catching up to a Lizzie.
Yeah, Hazard now is gained a bit more ERS back, not too much, but he's gained a tiny bit more back, and he's starting to hunt down Lizzie again on those hard tyres. I'm pretty sure they're both on the same penalties, and they are. So we're going to have to watch this for a quick little bit. Hopefully we don't miss anything else out in front. And speaking of out in front, Lifeboat is even further away now from Rick, so this is either some monstrous pace from Lifeboat or just, well, a few mistakes with the from Rick. Yeah. He'll be very close in these last few laps once again, because these guys have been, they'll be on lap 26 and 28, so there's only 3 laps left for them. And Hazard now is just going to have to see if he can get past a Lizzie, really. I don't think either of these two are close to penalty, and if so, I am quite wrong. And you can see all the different lines being taken there, and Lizzie is completely on the curb when trying to brake, and Hazard is just keeping it a bit safe there, trying not to, disrupt the car at all when trying to brake. And both can still work as long as you can get it right. And speaking of getting it right, Hazard has got that section a little bit crossed up there, and he's now nearly out of DRS again. Essex Perry picks up another 5 second time penalty. And yeah, you can see now Hazard is going to be quite lucky to get into DRS here, and he's only just getting a tiny bit of ERS. And Lizzie, even well, with his even less ERS, might have to try and defend here, considering the straight line speed of both of the cars. And yeah, Lizzie, is he going to use any ERS down here? He is. So Hazard is not going to use any. So he might be saving that ERS for the last few laps. So Lizzie's now only on 3% here, going down into the third sector, and Hazard is on 10%. So it'll be these two having the best on-track battle, the best off-track battle technically, if you can counter that, is Lifebout and Rick. They're not actually fighting like wheel to wheel, but they are fighting with their overall pace. Lifebout is only 3/10 ahead of Rick going into these last few laps, and if Rick picks up a penalty, it's going to be all over for him. And let's see, has he got any warnings at all? No, he has not. And Lifebout has still not picked up a warning since then, so it's going to be very close between the two. And let's see here, and Lizzie has got 2 warnings in hand, so he's going to be very close, and Hazard has only got 1. So, well, this is going to be very close between Hazard and Lizzie. Hazard might even think about a move here. If he's going to go for a kamikaze dive bomb, he does not. Get a bag sector 2 and sector 3.
Tommy spinning.
Yep, and he looks to evade his own track layout. It's completely fine for you, Tommy. We won't judge.
Sim guy is also catching up to the back of SX Perry.
Yep, that too, and you can see then with the difference of tyres here, and well, what's the difference of the ERS? At least he gets another penalty. So that will elevate Hazard up into P4, if anything else, if he keeps in that 3-second window. And I've got to divert attention right back to the top 2 again, as Tingo gets past SX Perry. So this is all just going a bit crazy in these last few laps. Lifebout is now only 6.1 ahead. So he's only losing a 10.2 a lap. He's only 6.0 now. So it is going to be very close in these last few laps. Tommy pits was off, so that is potentially for the fastest lap of the race. And Hazard is closing in on Lizzie. He's going to go wheel to wheel with him into the sector 3. Lizzie keeps ahead. Is Hazard going to maybe have a possible switch here? He's loved trying to switch back through the sector 3. He's not going to be close enough here. He's going for a bit of a send, and he does. Down the inside. Tries to dictate where Lizzie going to go. Lizzie goes off the track slightly, but Hazard is up to P4, preferring to make the move on track rather than off it with the penalties. And here is the last lap, and Rick has closed up to 5.7. So now 5.5 as well. Like that might have made a bit of a mistake going to that last sector on that second last lap, which could have made Rick win this race, unless Rick himself makes a bit of a mistake. So this is going to be... Well, this is going to be the closest last lap we might have had ever. But no, as it looks like now, you can see all the hard tyres have just come back into play. One more thing I would like to note: Smithy and Sim Guy getting close battling, as with Lizzie and Hazard once again. However, if all goes right, Rick will win this race, and well, it will not be by much. But with the different strategies and, well, possibly a worse one for Lifebout, really, after that safety car, it looks like Rick is going to take it, probably even by a few tenths, if that. Depends on all the pace they're going to get. And Lizzie is now going to use all the DRS just to try and get past Hazard, because to maybe cut away soon to see if Lifebout or Rick are going to win this race. And Lizzie goes to the inside of Hazard. Hazard will not let that go on the outside, sorry. He's going to go keep backing on the outside here. And Lifebout's gap going through the final corner is 5.2. Hazard looks to not go for anything here. Lifebout crosses the line to win on track, but is Rick going to get him on penalties? It looks like he is. By how much, we will not know. At 7.5 tenths of a second, Rick will win it. And maybe with a few different strategies there. However, Lifebout might have to be the only one to blame there with his little mistake. I'll head across the line in P3. Lizzie will come ahead of Hazard, but Hazard will take P4 on the road. Sim Guy will come across now to finish P6, and there's a bit of a carnage on the main straight at the moment. Sniffy's in P7, Essex Perry will take P8, and let's all watch Tommy's attempt at the fastest lap now. We're going to look through, well, all of these. Rick, of course, is celebrating of that, and rightfully so. He's pulled off a really good race today. And yeah, Tommy now through these second few sectors, he's up on his time, but close to the fastest lap, we are not too sure, as he's not set a purple sector so far. However, he is up on his time, but Sim Guy looks to have kept that fastest lap from what I'm seeing at the moment. However, we're going to look through Tommy here, round his last couple of corners. Will he have any chance of taking his fastest lap from that Sim Guy? And Tommy, of all people, could be saying the second or even the fastest time across the last few corners. Tommy is going to go for it with all the ERS, and he's unfortunately for him not going to be getting able to get it, but he still finished the race, and I'm pretty sure that is what is quite important for him as well. So then, Rick, after what looked to be a bit of a chaotic race with the safety car coming out at the right time for him, yeah, it's just going to be, well, Rick winning and closing that gap even further to Lifeboat in the championship. Well, Lifeboat, once again, having a little moment at Sim Guy for taking his fastest lap. And there's only a 4-point gap going into this last round, with Lifebout taking pole, going another 7 points ahead, and Rick, of course, winning from P2 on the grid, meaning that they gain 3 points on Lifebout. So, well, I'm pretty sure Lifebout is moaning at Sim Guy for taking his fastest lap, and that is rightfully so, as Lifebout would definitely have needed that point going into the last round. And I thought that Tommy would have been able to get it there, but he did not at the end, unfortunately for him. So, Jimmy, have you added the other people to the
I
group?
added 2 of them. I don't have life back added.
Okay, so where is Lifebound? There he is, and I've added them. So, let's go quickly run through the last grid order. Rick takes P1, Lifebound P2, and our Henson P3, rounding out the podium. Hazard in P4 after a nice battle with a Lizzie in P5. That's Singai P6 after an early spin, Swiffy P7, Essex Perry P8, Tommy P9, and the non-finishers of J Hawes, Jimmy Jags, and RJ Blair. So, go get the other 2 into the interviews now, as Lifebound was already joined. So we're going to get Rick and our Hensoning, so I'm pretty sure you are not in the party yet. So yeah, pretty interesting race that. And well, let's go have a quick look and wait for these two to join. Rick has joined now. And all we've got to do now is wait for our Henson if he would like to join. So we've got to wait for them to. And there we go. Rick has already joined, and we might start soon, just in a second. Just as long as our Henson will be able to join the party here. So we have to wait on him. But yeah, nice race. What do you think, Jimmy?
It was actually very good.
Yeah, I
The
know.
last battle between the 2 at the top at the end was very close. But,
Yeah, I'm sorry you
well,
weren't really able to talk much, but
that's
yeah.
fine. I'm not used to this, am I?
Okay, and here we go. That is top 3 in the party. And once again, shall we start with what looks to be the same recurring podium here, but for good reason. Shall we start with P3 of our Henson? Our Henson, if you were able to talk,
Hello.
please do.
Hello.
Hello. Right. Nice race from you, I'm pretty sure. Did you just kind of go into qualifying expecting you're just going to be P3 as usual?
Yeah, I thought P3 or P4 was on, definitely. Sim guy's always fast, but I'm not normally good around here as well, so I thought P4 or 5 as well.
Okay.
P3 I was happy with.
Yep, that's completely fine. Once again, qualifying for you as well, I'm pretty sure you were P4 on the grid, I'm going to say, or P3?
Third. That's third.
Okay, so P3 on the grid, P3 at the end of the race. Any thoughts on the strategy at all? Did you want to start on mediums or want to start on hards? Just
I
any
knew that
thoughts?
someone would end up crashing, so I started mediums, just because it's more flexible.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah, Jimmy crashed at the perfect time, so
Yeah, I
that's
picked up
lucky.
on that. Like I saw basically all the medium runners just coming in as soon as that happened, and well, the hard runners just didn't have any choice but to box there, and unfortunate for them, but they still managed to make some of them managed to make it work. Um, so yeah, just
For me, everyone
yeah,
else faster, everyone behind slower. Happens
yeah.
every
It's just
race,
a bit
really.
unfortunate because after you get out of those 1 second gaps from in front and behind, you're unable to fight with anyone. So I can't really ask him any questions here. It's just it's just a bit of a shame that you just didn't really have anyone to fight with, really. But yeah, P3 for you. How do you think you felt after that? Just good or anything?
I'll for sure take a P3, but I'd like to get higher than P3 for once this season. That's my sixth time being third. So yeah,
Fair
I'd
enough.
like Rick and Lifeboat to crash in Brazil.
But yeah, shame I can't really give you many questions on that because it just was looking like a pretty boring race from you. But as for that 3 word race roundup,
Yeah, it's not me, but great championship fight.
fair enough. Yeah, I can see that between the top two. And speaking of the top two, let's move to P2 in that race, Lifebout.
Hello.
Hello. Did you think you could be P2 or P1 today at all?
Uh, that was just not an ideal race. I should have won that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Basically,
We,
for the first six lap, I forgot how to drive and got 10 penalties. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean qualifying looked very good for you there. A few tenths up on Rick, and well, I'm pretty sure it was 8.5 tenths up on our Henson in P3. So, any words on that lap at all?
Yeah, I got a few oversteer moments on that lap, but it was good enough for Paul. I think it was if Rick didn't bottle his lap, it would have been close. But we both bottled it, so yeah, it was a good lap actually.
Okay. And once again off the start, you picked the hard tyres and just. I'm pretty sure you did not like it when the safety car came out. Perfect time for the medium tyres to pit. So, um, just yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy, why didn't you hold on for one more lap,
Yeah, if you
man? You
were able to
could have
hold on for one more
holded
lap,
on
then that would
for
have
one
been,
more
well, perfect for life out there. You could have got ahead with the full safety car not benefiting Greg, but instead it was, well, the other way around. And with those penalties, it just could not work for life out in the end. So, yeah, did you just push way too hard in the first stint at all, or just forgot how to drive, really? Just went way too
I,
wide and then many
I,
exits?
I don't even know why I was cutting corners because I didn't need to. I it was just bad driving. Um, I was keeping up, so I didn't like need to push that hard. But yeah, not a good race.
Okay, and yeah, do you think it was stressful going to those last few laps, just constantly trying to nail the throttle and everything else?
Yeah, I saw Rick had some oversteer on one lap and was like the gap was like 6.2 seconds, but the tires just died at the end, so couldn't do anything. But I pushed as hard as I can, so I guess that's a positive.
Yeah. At least you gave us a pretty entertaining race in the last few
Yeah.
laps, because other than that, I was starting to get a little bit tired in the comms box. But yeah, apart from that, 3 word race roundup.
um, Close into Brazil, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking of, actually,
I don't know what to say about the race.
there's only 4 points between you both
Yeah,
going into the final round, and our Henson here still, I'm pretty sure, has that chance of maybe overtaking both of you crash. So, yeah, we can see with our Henson always being in P3, it's going to realistically be a task of who's going to be the most aggressive, really, going into Brazil, and we'll see who was the fastest. Um, well, from the results today, P1, Rick. Any thoughts? Yeah, I can tell, really. That could probably be your 3 word race round if you want to keep it that way. Okay, so um, I'll still go through some of the results. So, qualifying. Any thoughts to be able to stick it on pole at all, or did you always think it was basically guaranteed P2 or P3? Yeah. Well, okay. Well, once again we saw going into the first race. Well, no, not the first race, the first lap. Sorry, you got ahead of Lifebout, and I think once again, just not really too much happened there until that first safety car. And well, do you think anything was going to happen there? Okay. Um, I don't know if the stream can hear you or not actually, because I've just had a message going that we can't hear you. I don't know if that's just your microphone volume or anything, but unfortunately we can't do much about it. Anyone watching, but yeah, just those. Once again, I would say the same with Life Out. Those last few laps, did you feel like anything was going to happen there? Did you feel like you had the win in the bag, or just not really? Okay, okay. Um, well, and I think that's about it really. Congratulations on your win as well. But yeah, three-word race roundup once again. Yep. Yeah. And just one more question for all three of you. Um, how are your thoughts going to Brazil? Just so you can start with P3 of our Henson. Henson, if you're here,
I like to think I'm quite good around Brazil, so I'm hopefully going to win.
do you think you have any chance of the championship at all? It's going to be a bit of a long shot.
No, I'm not. Unless them two crash, there's no chance.
Fair enough.
But I'll still try, yeah.
Okay, so Lifebout P2. Any chances that you feel like you're just going to have the championship wrapped up going
I'm
into
not going
Brazil?
outside for the next week.
I mean, I think that's every week, mate. Don't you think?
No, 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 not.
Well,
Who says you? Okay.
let's not fighting going into Brazil, please, guys. Actually, no, you can if you want to. Go ahead. It's the last race. But yeah, Rick, your thoughts of Brazil? Okay. And well, I'm pretty sure that's everything here. So yeah, everybody, thanks for watching the stream. Thanks to all three drivers on the podium, and once again, good, congratulations on your podiums, of course. And we'll see you in the very final round of Brazil, where we have a championship to decide. That's it. Goodbye, everybody.